Inside your body right now, a timer is counting down. Scientists can actually measure it under a microscope. The protective caps on your DNA strands are getting shorter with every passing second, and when they run out, your cells stop working. 3 Nobel Prize winners spent their entire careers figuring out why this happens and, more importantly, how to stop it. What they discovered wasn't some expensive pharmaceutical breakthrough. It was food. Regular food you can buy at any grocery store. But before you think this is just another eat your vegetables lecture, what these scientists found goes deeper than nutrition advice. They proved that specific foods send direct chemical signals to your DNA, telling your cells to repair themselves and resist aging. Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn won the Nobel Prize in 2009 for discovering something called telomeres. Picture the plastic tips on your shoelaces that keep them from unraveling. Your DNA has the same thing. Every chromosome in your body ends with these protective caps. Each time your cells divide to heal a cut, replace dead skin, or fight off infection, those caps get shorter. When they become too short, your cells can't function anymore. They age. They die. This process triggers virtually every disease that kills people: heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer. Blackburn's research with psychologist Alyssa Epple showed something shocking. They studied mothers caring for chronically ill children. These women had telomeres that looked biologically 10 years older than their actual age. The longer they'd been caregiving and the more stress they felt, the shorter their telomeres became. Chronic stress was literally accelerating their aging at a cellular level. But then came the breakthrough. Research published in Lancet Oncology demonstrated that people who changed their diet and lifestyle increased their telomerase activity by 29 to 84% in just 3 months. Telomerase is the enzyme that actually rebuilds those protective caps. A 5-year follow-up study found that people following these changes increased their telomere length by 10%, while the control group's telomeres shortened by 3%. So, what were these people eating? The foods that protect your telomeres share one critical characteristic. They're packed with antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids. Ohio State University tracked this in a study published in Brain Behavior and Immunity. Higher omega-3 levels corresponded directly with longer telomeres. Researchers at University of California, San Francisco followed 608 heart disease patients for 5 years. Those with the highest omega-3 blood levels had the slowest rate of telomere shortening. The study appeared in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Here's your shopping list: wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, walnuts and flax seeds, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. These berries contain anthocyanins that reduce DNA damage. Spinach, kale, broccoli, colorful bell peppers deliver vitamin C, vitamin E, and folate, all essential for DNA protection. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, brown rice, legumes such as lentils and chickpeas supply fiber and B vitamins. Research published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that people eating carotenoid-rich foods had significantly longer telomeres. Those are the bright pigments in colorful vegetables and fruits. Even mushrooms deserve attention because vitamin D is associated with telomere length according to a study in the Journal of Nutrition. Nothing on that list costs a fortune or requires a specialty store. But protecting your DNA caps is only the first piece. The second Nobel winner discovered something that sounds like science fiction. Your cells eat themselves. Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for discovering autophagy. The word literally means self-eating in Greek. Your cells consume their own damaged parts to survive and renew themselves. Ohsumi studied yeast cells in the early 1990s. He starved them of nutrients and genetically modified them so they couldn't fully digest cellular material. Within hours, under the microscope, he saw tiny recycling sacs called autophagosomes piling up inside the cells. This opened an entire field of research. His discovery proved that autophagy isn't random. It's triggered by nutrient deprivation, a survival response where cells recycle old proteins and damaged organelles for energy. Why does this matter for longevity? Because it prevents the buildup of cellular junk that causes aging, inflammation, and disease. When scientists first observed autophagy in the 1960s, They didn't understand it. Osumi's work identified the genes responsible and showed that similar mechanisms exist in human cells. Research published in peer-reviewed journals shows that fasting for 12 to 24 hours triggers autophagy. Restricting calories turns genes into preservation mode, making cells remarkably resistant to disease and cellular stress. A 2023 study published in Science Direct examined healthy young males during Ramadan, fasting 17 to 19 hours daily over 29 days. Blood samples showed that autophagy-related genes increased significantly, peaking around mid-fasting periods. Studies from blue zones reveal patterns. In Ikaria, Greece, residents observe about 150 days of religious fasting yearly. Combined with their Mediterranean diet rich in vegetables and olive oil, this contributes to exceptional longevity. People in these regions routinely live past 100. Exercise also activates autophagy. Research demonstrates that moderate aerobic activity and endurance training induce autophagy in muscles and brain tissue. Autophagy has been linked to protection against neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. You can activate this cellular cleanup system through time-restricted eating. Consume all your meals within an 8 to 10 hour window. Eat between noon and 8 p.m., giving your body 16 hours without food. Stop constant snacking. Give your body 4 to 5 hours between meals. Autophagy only starts after glycogen stores in the liver are depleted, which takes 14 to 16 hours. During fasting periods, you can drink water, black coffee, or green tea without breaking the fast. Certain foods support autophagy when you do eat. Green tea contains EGCG, a compound that promotes autophagy. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower contain sulforaphane, which activates autophagy pathways. The key is consistency. Your body needs regular fasting periods to trigger this cleanup system. But there's a third piece that connects everything together. Dr. Venki Ramakrishnan shared the 2009 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for revealing the atomic structure of ribosomes. These are tiny factories inside every cell that produce all your body's proteins. Ribosomes translate genetic information from DNA into proteins that build tissues, fight infections, repair damage, and run thousands of processes keeping you alive. Every single protein in your body is made by ribosomes. Healthy ribosomes mean your cells can keep producing proteins efficiently, which helps tissues stay strong and supports your immune system. Research published in Nature Communications found that protecting ribosome function through nutrition can extend both lifespan and health span. What supports your ribosomes? High-quality proteins provide the amino acids your ribosomes need. Wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed meat in moderation, and plant proteins like hemp seeds and spirulina deliver complete amino acid profiles. But quantity matters less than quality. Studies show that moderate protein intake, about 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, supports ribosome function without overburdening cellular processes. Magnesium is essential for ribosomes to work properly. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, and dark chocolate 70% or higher cocoa are excellent sources. Just a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds provides nearly half your daily magnesium needs. Foods high in B vitamins support ribosomal production. Leafy greens, avocados, and legumes provide folate and B vitamins essential for ribosomal RNA production. Now you understand the 3 Nobel Prize winning discoveries. Your telomeres need protection, your cells need to activate autophagy, your ribosomes need proper fuel. These 3 systems work together, and specific foods influence all of them simultaneously. What you eat tomorrow morning will either accelerate your aging or slow it down at the cellular level. Here's your daily eating plan that brings all 3 Nobel Prize winning systems together. Your first meal: 2 eggs cooked any way you prefer with sautéed spinach and tomatoes. Add a handful of blueberries. Drink green tea instead of coffee if possible. This combination delivers protein for ribosomes, antioxidants for telomeres, and won't break your overnight fast too early. Your midday meal: build a large salad using mixed greens as the base. Add colorful vegetables like bell peppers, carrots, and cherry tomatoes. Top with chickpeas for plant protein and a generous sprinkling of pumpkin seeds for magnesium. Dress everything with olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Include a side of quinoa or brown rice. This meal packs in the B vitamins, fiber, and healthy fats all 3 cellular systems need. Your evening meal: Wild-caught salmon 2 to 3 times per week. On other nights, choose mackerel or sardines. Pair your fish with steamed broccoli and Brussels sprouts. These cruciferous vegetables contain sulforaphane that directly activates autophagy pathways. Add a sweet potato or a serving of lentils for complex carbohydrates and additional fiber. Between meals, if genuine hunger strikes, reach for walnuts and berries. Dark chocolate at 70% cocoa or higher counts as a healthy option. Sliced vegetables with hummus work perfectly too. Notice what's missing from this plan: processed foods, refined sugars, excessive snacking. Your cells don't need constant food. They need quality fuel delivered at specific intervals. The timing of when you eat matters as much as what you eat. Finish your last meal by 8 p.m. Don't eat anything again until noon the next day. This 16-hour fasting window gives your body time to activate autophagy. Your cells shift from constantly processing food to cleaning and repairing themselves. During this fasting period, you can drink water freely. Black coffee won't break your fast. Green tea actually enhances the cellular cleanup process, what you absolutely cannot have during fasting. Anything with calories, no cream in your coffee, no juice, no protein shakes. These aren't magic foods. They're precise fuel for the microscopic machinery inside you. Every bite communicates with your DNA, telling it to protect those telomere caps. Every fasting hour activates autophagy genes. Every quality protein molecule supports ribosome function. But food alone isn't enough. Stress management becomes non-negotiable after 70. Chronic stress physically shortens your telomeres faster than poor diet does. Research proves this repeatedly. Practice meditation or deep breathing for at least 12 minutes daily. This isn't optional wellness advice. It's cellular protection. Physical activity supports all three systems simultaneously. Walking briskly for 30 minutes most days improves circulation, which helps deliver nutrients to cells. Resistance training twice weekly stimulates ribosome biogenesis and maintains muscle mass. You don't need a gym membership. Body weight exercises at home work perfectly. Sleep quality directly affects ribosome function. Adults over 70 need 7 to 8 hours nightly. During deep sleep, your cells repair damage accumulated throughout the day. Ribosomes work overtime rebuilding proteins. Autophagy intensifies. Growth hormone, what little your body still produces, gets released. Research published in Nature Neuroscience showed that sleep deprivation in older adults disrupts ribosomal activity significantly. 1 week of poor sleep can undo months of good nutrition. Social connections matter more than most people realize. Studies tracking thousands of seniors found that strong relationships correlate with longer telomeres. Loneliness and isolation trigger chronic inflammation, which accelerates cellular aging. Call a friend, join a community group, volunteer somewhere. These interactions aren't just emotionally fulfilling, they're biologically protective. Research on caloric restriction reveals something counterintuitive. Moderate calorie reduction, not severe dieting, extends lifespan in multiple species. This works partly by reducing the metabolic burden on ribosomes. When your cells aren't constantly producing proteins for growth, they redirect resources toward repair and maintenance. You don't need to count every calorie obsessively. Simply avoid overeating. Stop when you're 80% full. Skip seconds. Share desserts. These small habits compound over years into significant cellular benefits. Think about what happens inside your body tomorrow morning when you eat those eggs with spinach. Amino acids from the eggs provide building blocks for ribosomes. Folate from the spinach protects telomeres. Antioxidants from the tomatoes neutralize free radicals that damage DNA. One meal simultaneously supports 3 Nobel Prize winning discoveries. The same pattern repeats with your salmon dinner. Omega-3 fatty acids in the fish directly lengthen telomeres according to multiple studies. The protein feeds your ribosomes. Finishing dinner early triggers the overnight fast that activates autophagy. These systems interconnect beautifully. Protecting your telomeres reduces cellular stress, which improves ribosome efficiency. Activating autophagy clears out damaged proteins, which prevents them from interfering with ribosome function. Supporting your ribosomes maintains tissue strength, which reduces inflammation that shortens telomeres. Everything works together when you provide the right inputs. The cumulative research spanning 20 years confirms what happens when you ignore these systems. Telomere shortening accelerates. Autophagy slows down. Ribosome function declines. This combination directly causes cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, cancer, and diabetes, the diseases that kill most people after 70. These aren't theories or speculation. This represents Nobel Prize winning science backed by thousands of peer-reviewed studies published in the world's most prestigious medical journals. Every meal you eat is an opportunity to send signals to your cells saying, repair yourself, protect yourself, stay strong, or an opportunity to accelerate your decline through processed foods, constant snacking, and nutritional neglect. Your cells respond to what you give them. Feed them properly, and they'll protect you for decades. Starve them of nutrients while overloading them with junk, and they'll fail faster than necessary. The best part about this approach? You don't need perfection. You don't need to follow every recommendation flawlessly starting tomorrow. Begin by adding more colorful vegetables to your current meals. Try eating within a 10-hour window a few days per week. Choose fatty fish twice weekly instead of red meat. These small changes initiate the cellular protection mechanisms. Small, consistent actions compound over months and years into dramatic results. Start with one change today, add one more next week, build momentum gradually. Your 70-year-old body can still respond powerfully to improved nutrition and lifestyle habits. The research proves cellular systems remain remarkably adaptable even in advanced age. What you do right now, today, this week, determines whether you spend your 80s walking independently or sitting in a wheelchair, whether your mind stays sharp or fades into confusion, whether you remain autonomous or become dependent on others. That's what 3 Nobel Prize winners discovered. Your future isn't predetermined by genetics or age. It's shaped by the daily choices you make about food, movement, stress, sleep, and connection. Research on caloric restriction reveals something most people miss. Eating less isn't about deprivation. It's about giving your cells breathing room. A study in Nature Communications found that moderate calorie reduction extended lifespan proportional to the degree of restriction. This works by reducing the metabolic burden on ribosomes, allowing cells to allocate resources toward repair instead of constant growth. Your body right now is making a choice: process more food or fix existing damage. It can't do both simultaneously at full capacity. Every time you skip that mid-afternoon snack, you're not just cutting calories. You're redirecting cellular energy toward cleaning up damaged proteins and repairing DNA. Physical activity deserves specific attention here. Resistance training in older adults stimulates ribosome biogenesis according to studies examining muscle protein synthesis. This means lifting weights or doing bodyweight exercises doesn't just maintain muscle mass. It actually tells your cells to build more protein factories. The overlap between these 3 Nobel discoveries becomes obvious when you map it out. Nutrient-rich diets support ribosome function. Adequate sleep allows cellular repair. Regular exercise triggers autophagy in muscle and brain tissue. Moderate eating reduces metabolic stress. Everything connects. Here's what actually happens when you implement this starting tomorrow. Your first meal at noon breaks the overnight fast. Those eggs deliver leucine, the specific amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. The spinach provides folate that protects telomeres. The blueberries contain anthocyanins that reduce oxidative stress throughout your body. By 2 p.m., your cells have shifted fully from fasting mode into nutrient processing. The salmon at dinner delivers omega-3s that directly communicate with your DNA. Those Brussels sprouts activate autophagy genes through sulforaphane compounds. The sweet potato provides complex carbohydrates that stabilize blood sugar without spiking insulin. You finish eating by 8 p.m. Your body begins the transition back into repair mode around midnight. By 4 a.m., autophagy reaches peak activity. Damaged proteins get broken down and recycled. Your ribosomes focus on essential maintenance rather than constant growth. Your telomeres receive protection from antioxidants still circulating in your bloodstream. This cycle repeats tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Small cellular improvements compound into measurable changes within weeks. Studies tracking people who adopted these patterns showed improvements in inflammatory markers within 30 days. Telomere length measurements increased over 3 to 6 months. You might wonder if this really works for someone already in their 70s. Research specifically examined older adults making these changes. The results were clear. Cellular systems remain responsive regardless of age. Your telomeres can still be protected. Your autophagy genes can still be activated. Your ribosomes can still function efficiently. The difference between thriving at 80 and declining at 80 comes down to whether you're supporting these three systems or undermining them. Every meal either feeds the machinery that keeps you alive or clogs it with junk that accelerates breakdown. Think about the alternative for a moment. Continuing your current eating patterns means your telomeres keep shortening at their current rate. Your cells accumulate more damaged proteins because autophagy stays suppressed. Your ribosomes struggle to produce proteins efficiently because they lack proper fuel. That path leads to exactly what you're trying to avoid: weakness, cognitive decline, loss of independence, the nursing home outcome that terrifies most people. This isn't about adding years to your life just to exist longer in poor health. This is about maintaining function, keeping your mind sharp, staying independent, continuing to do what you love well into your 90s. The 3 Nobel Prize winners who discovered these mechanisms didn't find cures for aging. They found something better. They revealed that your body already contains sophisticated systems to protect itself, repair damage, and resist decline. Those systems just need the right inputs to function properly. Those inputs aren't expensive. They're not complicated. They don't require medical supervision or prescription medications. They're food, fasting windows, movement, sleep, and stress management. Things completely within your control right now. Every single day you have a choice. Support your cellular machinery or neglect it. Send signals that say repair and protect, or send signals that accelerate decline. Your cells respond to what you give them. They don't judge. They don't make excuses. They simply react to the chemical environment you create through your daily choices. Start where you are. If you're currently eating processed foods at every meal, begin by replacing one meal with the salmon and vegetables. If you're snacking constantly, create a 4-hour gap between lunch and dinner. If you're sedentary, take a 20-minute walk tomorrow. One change leads to another. Small improvements create momentum. Within weeks, you'll notice differences. More energy, better sleep, clearer thinking. Within months, the cellular changes become measurable. Your inflammation markers drop. Your metabolic health improves. The research spanning 2 decades from 3 Nobel Prize winners points to the same conclusion. Your longevity isn't predetermined. It's not locked into your genetics. It's not inevitable that you'll decline rapidly after 70. What happens next depends entirely on whether you're willing to align your daily habits with how your cells actually work. You now understand what protects telomeres, activates autophagy, and supports ribosomes. You know which foods deliver the compounds your cells need. You know when to eat and when to fast. You know that movement, sleep, and stress management all play essential roles. The only question remaining is whether you'll actually do it. Whether you'll make the small daily choices that compound into years of healthy, independent living. Your cells are waiting for your decision. They're ready to respond. They're capable of remarkable resilience and repair. They just need you to give them what they need.